Alright, this is the 10th issue of Johnny Constantine's New 52 series. And this cover has got Spectre on it. And I am happy to say that he is in it. But it is peculiar that they would put him on the cover, or that they would put only him on the cover like this, when he is not the only thing going on here. I would say Archangel is more important in this issue than Spectre is. But this one is part of a very long crossover story arc between DC's Magic books. It was actually this crossover that made me stop collecting the series that I was getting. It's an okay story. It's far too long. But I was already getting Pantsless Stranger and Dark Justice League. And I had no problem grabbing a couple of issues of Johnny Constant for a crossover. But that New 52 Where's Wally character, even considering reading her series, was off-putting. I think I got to the end of this story and then stopped. So Johnny Constant and Dark Justice League, they have gone to heaven to request the aid of God in their continuing battle against a force of evil, which is the embodiment of all subconscious evil on earth. They are met at the gates of heaven by Spectre and Archangel. And Spectre, he really hates Johnny Constant. We didn't see much of Spectre in the New 52. I think he had like 6 or 7 appearances. But what we saw of him, he was a very angry Spectre. The magic stuff in the New 52 was mostly decent, but they really naffed up by never exploring Spectre. He was just one of those characters that were there because he was familiar to readers. No writer seemed to want to sit down and think too hard on Spectre, or tell a story establishing this version of the character, or even his backstory in this new universe. It's not dissimilar to Mr. Questions. They revamped Mr. Questions and made him into like a counterpart to Pantsless Stranger, but then they never ever used him. Him and Spectre, they would guest star in a book like once a year. God is a dog, which was a thing in Pantsless Stranger's series. And here we have Spectre judging the characters and their souls. Spectre is one of my favourite DC characters. I used to say that he was my favourite, but the truth is he has one great series to his name, and one good one, and the rest is usually misfires. He was replaced by other people twice, and since the New 52, he has been a background extra in the DC universe, who shows up maybe once a year for a panel or two. The last 15 years, it's tough being a Spectre fan. A lot of writers didn't really know what to do with him. He is too powerful for most things. John Ostrich, he managed to make it work for 60 issues, and nearly everyone else has struggled. There isn't anywhere really appropriate to implement Spectre within DC's line of comics. He cannot be on a team because he's too powerful, and giving him a solo book, it usually involves depowering him or bringing him down to earth and having him do more traditional superhero fare, and that's just not the character to me. To me, Spectre, he is... There is this Silver Age Justice League story. He spends a whole issue in space, stood between two planets in like a T-pose, and he is like holding both of them back. He is stopping the planets from colliding with each other. That is Spectre to me. But as I said, Archangel, he is more of the plot-oriented character. God, he won't get involved in this because God doesn't get involved with anything. So Johnny Constant, he gets confrontational, and it is the new 52, so he cannot say bollocks, which is very upsetting. But he does have one of his patented manipulations up his sleeve. He teleports away with Archangel in pursuit, but this is all his plan because now he has forced Archangel to follow him through a gateway porthole thing into the real world and the physical plane. So Archangel is now outside of heaven. He has crossed over to our dimension, and Johnny Constant intends to force him to get involved with their battle with the big evil thingamabob. And actually, now that he is here, Archangel is fine with helping them. He was bound to heaven, so that was his priority. But now that he has been brought here, he will fight alongside them, and he willingly joins Dark Justice League. I'm not sure if you can get much out of this as a single issue. It's part of a really long storyline. I think this is nearer the end, but it's really long. And when you boil it down, this issue, it is moving chess pieces around for the story. It being an issue of Johnny Constant is also a bit... well, it could just as easily be an issue of Dark Justice League, is what I'm trying to say. I kind of like it, but I didn't think it is an accessible issue to someone without the years of context from all the other New 52 Magic books. 7 thumbs up.